Singing out of Treaty 6 territory, ladies and gentlemen, Northern Cree, here we go.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. Paul Gowder with PowWows.com. Got a great show tonight, and we will get started in just a few moments. But while you're waiting, post in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you. Right now, we are watching Northern Cree's performance at the 2017 Indigenous Music Awards that was held in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Amber, thank you for watching. Dr. Curtis here. Who else we got watching? Hey, Susan. Welcome back, Pure Hearts Club. Darlene, thank you for watching. Oklahoma's here, heading for you. Alton from Washington State, awesome. A couple more videos before we get started. This video is from the 2015 Gathering of Nations powwow. It was the Grass Dance Special Finals. From the Ozarks. Hey, Rain.
Turn the sound on.
Sorry. I'm seeing Richmond, Virginia, Denver, Colorado, Minnesota. Hey, everybody.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Rock here.
If you're running an e-commerce business, you have
California's watching. Hey, everybody. Paul Gowder here from PowWows.com. I will start this in just a few minutes. I want to give everybody a chance to get online. Good evening, Sue. Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to stick around. I'm going to give you all a special way to enter our Pendleton blanket giveaway. If you're not aware, we are giving away 25 Pendleton blankets at the end of this month. This will be a Northern Traditional Dance Contest from the 2016 Gathering of Nations powwow, Albuquerque, New Mexico. wish to you happy birthday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I am Paul Gowder from PowWows.com, and I appreciate you watching. So, whoops, hold on. There we go. Now we're back. Thank you for watching, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. I really appreciate you being here. This is the weekly show from PowWows.com, PowWow Chat, where I get to talk to all you folks out there in Indian country and PowWow Nation. So thank you. Love hearing from in the comments where everybody's from. Saw Massachusetts, California, Fort Hall, Idaho, Florida, Oklahoma, from all over. So thank you for being here. So I got a great interview for you tonight. It's a really cool topic, and we'll talk more about that in just a minute. But I want to make sure you are all aware we are giving away 25 Pendleton blankets this month. This is just one of them. You see back there, there's a stack up there in my office. We got 25 blankets here in my office. We're giving all 25 of them away at the end of this month. Here's the link where you can go to enter that. You can enter daily. You get more chances to win the more ways you enter. And at the end of tonight's show, I will give you all a special code that only you guys will get for watching tonight's show. So be sure to watch that. Looks like we got somebody watching from Belgium. That's awesome, if I'm reading that correctly. Rain, hello, hello. Ohio's here. Roy, welcome back. I think you were here last week. That's awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in again. So a couple of announcements before we get to the interview. I showed you the Pendleton blanket. Don't forget to enter to win that. And we also have a special announcement from a sponsor. Again, I'm happy to say we are again sponsored by vaccines.org. Thank them for their support. And I'm wearing my shirt tonight. These are available in the shop over at PowWows.com. But here's a quick word from our sponsor.
Honor our past, be influenced by those who came before us, and rise to make a difference. It's easier than ever before to be a modern-day warrior. Let's get vaccinated so we can get back to making history. We can do this.
We can do this. And let me tell you guys, it is super important that we do all we can to get through this. You know, a couple weeks ago, I was so excited. I was making my first travel plans to head back to a powwow, and it looks like I'm still going, although it's getting questionable. But I tell you, every day we're getting more and more people writing in and telling us that their powwows are canceled. There are parts of the country that are just not able to open up, and they're having to go back to lockdowns and restrictions. So let's all do what we can. You know, it's not that hard. Put the mask back on. It's not that big of a deal. Let's get vaccinated if you're able to, and let's get through this thing. I want to powwow again. I don't want to see all these powwows get canceled again. Talia, thanks so much for the badge on Instagram. I appreciate the support. Looks like we got on Instagram, we got some people from Utah. Argentina is watching. Super. That is awesome. Helene from Ho Chunk. That's great. All right. So other announcements. We've got a sale going on right now for our, we got several new stickers in the shop. Let me pull that up. While that's pulling up, we also have a new special going on. Let me show you this too, a new special item. Check out our new, and let me I'll turn this around so the people on Instagram can see too. So I announced last week, there's the shirt, Instagram. Announced last week that PowWows.com, we're working with the American Indian College Fund, and we've set up a scholarship for Native students that are attending tribal colleges in the next school year, not this year, but in the next school year they can apply. We have pledged $5,000 a year to go into this. And Ortiz Jr., thanks so much for the badge on Instagram. Really appreciate that. So we'd love your support on this scholarship. So we pledged that $5,000, and our goal is to grow that and hopefully get it up to $10,000 or more. But to do that, what we're doing is we're selling some special items. And the first one, oh, I don't have the other one with me, but the first one is this t-shirt. So you can check that out over at www.PowWows.com/scholarships. And those are on sale now, so check those out. And I'm trying to pull it up now. We have a sticker that goes with that. And I see your question about how to enter the contest. I will pull that up in just a second and show you how to do that. And yes, Heston, anybody can buy one. Please go check that out. www.PowWows.com/scholarship. And it'll take you right to that shirt. And so here's the sticker. It's a holographic sticker. It says strong, resilient, educated, and indigenous. So check that out. Hey, Gigi by the Sea, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. And yes, let's all stay safe and healthy. So yeah, the $5 sticker. All of our items are free shipping. Unfortunately, right now, we're only shipping to the U.S. We're trying to figure out how we can ship internationally, especially to Canada. I know our friends up there would appreciate that. Shipping is just tough sometimes. All right. And yes, so I mentioned we have a sale on stickers. We have several new stickers in the shop, and I'm going to try to get to that. It is hard to talk and shop or click at the same time. Let's see if I can do this. I didn't pull this up ahead of time, so sorry. Yeah, so we've got a sale on some of the new stickers, and here's one of them. And there's no coupon code for this. Just shop, and they will discounts automatically applied. So here is a holographic design of our 25th anniversary logo. It is 25 years of PowWows.com. Other new stickers. Sorry, I should have pulled this up before. Okay, well, anyways, there are new stickers. Go shop. And if you're subscribed to our newsletter, there is a sale going out this weekend for Labor Day. And the coupon code is going out in email this weekend. So be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, and you'll get all the information that's going on, all the new powwow updates. We just sent an email yesterday with all the updated powwows for September and October. So if you're subscribed to our newsletter, you'll get that. So somebody asked how to enter the contest. All right, 25 Pendleton blankets. Here's just one of them. And this one is from our friends at the American Indian College Fund. They sell this blanket to help fund their scholarships, like the one we're doing with them. So www.PowWows.com/25. And I'll even give you a quick demonstration of how that works. There are lots of ways to enter, including that bonus code that I'm going to give out later. So if you scroll down on this page, past the picture of all those Pendleton blankets, we laid them out in our bedroom, and my daughter arranged them really pretty and took some photos for me. It is pretty awesome to see 25 Pendleton blankets spread out on the floor. That was really cool. So right here, here's the entry form. You put your name and your email in, hit enter, and it takes you to this page where you get lots of other ways to complete tasks to earn other entries. Some of them are asking for, I'm asking a couple questions because I want some feedback from you. There's some links to follow. You can subscribe to our podcast and enter the bonus code. So that's how you enter www.PowWows.com/25. And as I just mentioned, we do have a podcast. So I'm taking these interviews that I'm doing on Thursday nights and putting them out on a podcast. So if you're not able to join us live one week, check out the podcast and you can take that with it. Ortiz Jr. says, I love the logo on the wall. Thank you so much. So I really love the back wall. My daughter and I did the wood back there, as that was like our Corona project while we were at home for so long. This is one of the things we did. Did have to have a little bit of help on some of the little edges and things, but we did most of it ourselves, and I got that sign off of Etsy, so it's really cool. Let's see. John Hill says there's a powwow in the Bronx going on. All right, so people in New York, check that out. Be sure to go and see that if you were up in the city there. Got folks in, let's see, Mexico and North Carolina. Hello, hello. All right. I think that's all the announcements for now. So I want to tell you a little bit about tonight's guest. Hannah Bartol is part of, I'll pull it up. She's part of the National Native Network, and they have a campaign going on called Keep It Sacred. And they are trying to raise awareness and educate people on using traditional tobacco and getting away from commercial tobacco. They put out some infographics and some good information, such as 1 in 4 American Indian or Alaskan Native adults are more likely to smoke cigarettes than the average American. And it is causing health concerns. And she'll talk about this in the interview. Tobacco is one of those really fundamentally sacred things to so many of our tribes. But the commercial tobacco that's out there now has so many chemicals and other things in it. We need to get away from that, especially using it for ceremony and other things. So that is what they're trying to do and raise awareness. So here is Hannah Bartle with the National Native Network. Tonight, my guest is Hannah Bartle, and she is with the National Native Network, and they are working on a messaging that is maybe not something you've heard, but is super important and can really help us keep some of our traditions and our values with tobacco and other things sacred. So, their website is actually Keep It Sacred. So, Hannah, thanks for spending some time with us tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
I guess, well, before we get too far into it, tell me about yourself and how you got involved with the network there.
Okay, so hi, my name is Hannah Bartle. I am from the Hannahville Indian community in Hannahville, or it's in Wilson, Michigan. It's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I currently reside in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, on Saguenay-Chippewa Indian tribal land. I work from home from the network, which is awesome. So the National Native Network is a network of tribal organizations and tribal agencies that work to enhance public health systems to reduce the commercial tobacco related illnesses and cancer disparities among American Indian and Alaskan Natives. I got involved with the network in April. I officially started in April, but one of my friends worked in this position before I did. So I heard a lot of the great work that he was able to do and all of the network connections that he created and sort of solidified before I got here. So very thankful to the person who was in this before I was. So our main mission is to just make sure that people are, one, educated about commercial tobacco use and traditional tobacco use, that they understand the health disparities that Native Americans face, not only in general, but when it's enhanced by commercial tobacco use. So we work with a couple of different partnering organizations within our network to reach around 400 tribal communities across the United States to just make sure that we are implementing best practices in commercial tobacco use and cancer prevention. We want to disseminate some of those disparity, or disseminate some of the like rumors or sort of myths that people hear about commercial tobacco use. Like, for example, a lot of people don't think vaping is all that bad, but with studies coming out every day, we understand that vaping is really highly addictive and really does detrimental things to our communities. So we are just aiming to provide training and technical assistance, implement policies and systems for tribal communities and tribal agencies to help best serve tribal communities in the commercial tobacco world.
And it's an interesting kind of messaging you have, because tobacco is one of the things that it's a foundational sacred element for lots of tribes, most tribes. So how do you get that? It's something that's used in so many different ways. And I've been at places where, well, we don't have any other tobacco. So it's okay with the cigarette, So what do you tell people? What is that? Why should we be focused on just using regular tobacco and not just commercial products?
Yeah. So, I've been in those same places and spaces where people are like, let me just break the cigarette up. It's tobacco, tobacco is tobacco. But, we sort of need to take a step back and understand where we sort of got that impression. And we understand that, this, happened in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s with our grandparents and our parents who are like at this point, sometimes commercial tobacco is the only tobacco that they have. And I understand that, and not everybody is fortunate enough to grow like their own traditional tobacco. But we also need to understand that the tobacco plant itself is one of the most exploited plants like in the entire world. It's like pumped with chemicals, over 5,000 different chemicals and carcinogens to, make what commercial tobacco is today. And, we only use it because, with the Relocation Act, people relocated from, reservations into urban areas and urban spaces, or they just weren't, the tobacco plant wasn't accessible to them, where they might have been living. So that was sort of their next best thing. But, it's 2021 and there are a lot of different tribal, either agencies, communities, resources that we can get to at least help educate ourselves on what commercial tobacco is. If you don't have, traditional tobacco just sort of laying around in your house or laying around in your community, we can at least, educate ourselves on it. So that's what one of our main missions is of the network, is to educate individuals on what commercial tobacco is. And hopefully we can, say we're not gonna abuse the tobacco plant, commercially. We're gonna try to educate our community members on what it is. Let's take it back to the basics, taking it back to, what we teach our young kids, when we bring them up in the traditional way that, it's a sacred medicine. This is how it's grown. This is what it looks like, how to take care of it, when to grow it. And understanding that they understand that it is, being commercialized by, big tobacco companies.
Yeah. And with the internet now, it may be unaffordable for some folks or whatever, but access to it, to good tobacco and non-commercial, should be readily available to everybody. So how is that message received? I mean, what's the reaction? When you talk to traditional folks or in urban areas, how daunting of a task is this?
It can be sort of daunting sometimes. Like I said, I just started with the network in April, but going through, I grew up in a traditional home, so I was instilled with those values as I was growing up and whatnot. And I've had my fair share of travel to different tribal communities, so I can't exactly tell the elders like, hey, this is wrong. But what I can do is I can help, at least educate. I can say, hey, like, this is what we're hoping to do with maybe the next generation. We understand that these harmful chemicals are being entered within our body when we use, commercial tobacco use within our traditional ceremonies, that we can at least educate people on it so they're aware of it and can hopefully make better decisions, moving forward. And, not to like knock anybody who does it or anything, but like, we're just here to educate, and we're just here to hopefully give useful information and do what's best within our tribal communities, because we understand like when non-tribal members come in and say, hey, this is wrong, or you can't do this or whatever. So we're just trying to implement best practices that work for each individual community that we either try to work with or that one of our other partners try to work with.
Yeah, I think that's an important message. It's not you're saying that what you're doing is wrong or you should be doing it. It's, hey, we have more information now.
It's 2021, with all of the different, other health agencies, Urban Indian National, or, National Institute of Health or Urban Indian Health Institute, they're coming out with these best practices for a tribal community to say, hey, this is the information that we have now. We understand that commercial tobacco is causing, X, Y, and Z problem, that it's causing cancer within our individuals in our communities, that it's, causing a number of different health disparities within our communities. And we're just trying to reduce the risk of, transmission of tobacco related diseases.
Right. I mean, I grew up a time when there weren't seatbelts in cars, but we're more educated now, and we know that a better way is to strap in. So things change. All right. So if you're out there in tribal communities and you're looking for, if you want to get involved, or are there some resources that you can give people to kind of help get the word out, or even read up on it and help educate their tribal members?
Yeah, so our website is keepitsacred.org. We have a plethora of resources that are commercial tobacco use, traditional tobacco use, cancer prevention, ways that you can get your community involved. So we work when different geographical locations, like we have partners in Alaska, we have partners in California, we have partners in the Dakota areas. So we're sort of right there. But any sort of tribal related agency or organization can use our website and our resources. We're always open to creating new relationships. And it really starts within your own community, so if you're like, hey, I want to start a tobacco education series in my community, you go seek out those resources either within your own community, or you can use our website to create those resources. Our website has created a number of different resources. We've disseminated success stories with people using the quit line. So we have community members, like within Michigan, that have found success in stop smoking and using the quit line and understanding commercial tobacco use versus traditional tobacco use. So, these success stories are within our own communities, and we really need to look to those individuals who have made it successful for themselves and say, hey, how'd you do that? Can you help? Like, what are some of the things that helped you? Because we know that people's journey is different with tobacco use.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so, and here's another question. So this is sitting at my desk. Somebody gifted this to me at a powwow, and I had to keep it right here next to me in case I need it. So if I'm looking at tobacco, what am I looking for to make sure that it's not the commercial and doesn't have those carcinogens and everything else? What is there things we can look for, or how do we find out if we're using good tobacco?
I sort of took this journey this summer with my mom. We started growing traditional tobacco just sort of on our porch. I had gotten some seeds from a community member, and my mom was just like, hey, let's try to grow tobacco this summer. And I said, all right, I started with the network. So I'm going to, I was like, let's go on this journey together, let's do it. So we had gotten some seeds from a community member here in Mount Pleasant, and we put it in a pot, soil, sun, water, like all this stuff. And I was like, it's not working. Like, it's not growing. It's not doing anything. Like, I was sort of almost expecting something in a week where I was like, it's just gonna spring up and be tobacco. But it wasn't. It takes a lot of care and making sure it gets sunlight, but not too much sunlight, too much water, all of this. So, it grew and whatnot. And then, I didn't know how to harvest it. I was like, Mom, how do I do this? I don't know. Yeah, I work for the network, and I, grew up in a traditional household, but I never had to do my own tobacco. So, I was asking my mom how to do this. She's like, it looks like this, and this is how it looks like. And then you take it off, the plant, and it dries out, and then it, it's green, but it dries and it becomes brown, and it almost becomes you can crinkle it up almost like a dry leaf, in the fall time. And that's your tobacco. So it's sort of dry. It's not like the commercial stuff where it's kind of oily and it's kind of sticks together and whatnot. So it's a different feeling because my dad offers tobacco every day. He goes out in the morning and offers it, and I see the red packaging. I think it might be called Gamblers or something like that. I don't know. It's a red package, and I would know it if I saw it. And I'm always like, that's the tobacco that he uses, and, now with this journey with, growing traditional tobacco and going, working with the network and whatnot, I can differentiate between those things, so I want to give this knowledge to other people and say, hey, I took this journey and I grew tobacco, and yeah, my dad still uses that other stuff, but we're taking it upon ourselves to learn about it and to make sure that we can produce our own traditional tobacco within our own home. And, hope maybe next summer it sprang up to 2 plants. So I'm hoping next summer it's 4, and then I can sort of keep growing it and keep, my ultimate end goal is to have enough traditional tobacco within our family, when we need it for ceremonies, or somebody needs traditional tobacco for ceremonies within the community. I want to be that person who can help educate others and say, hey, I have extra seeds, you take this journey too, let's start a club or something, let's start a plant club, or so I wanted to take this journey with myself and with my mom. It was sort of something that we did this summer that was really cool, and hopefully educate other people about it, talk about it, and hopefully inspire people the way that I was inspired to just take it and upon myself and do it.
That was really helpful, actually. So I never knew the difference, because I've definitely had tobacco, where somebody gave you, and you can ball it up in your fist and almost like a paste. It's so moist. And so I thought that there was just moist tobacco and then older tobacco that dried out. But that's good.
Yeah.
That's really the difference. Yeah. Okay. So that, yeah, for people who felt enough of it, that's a great picture to help.
Yeah. And I like, it's weird to like say it like when you like are walking in like on the street or whatever in the fall time and you see a crunchy leaf and you step on it and you hear that crunch and it sort of just like falls apart. That's what like dried up like traditional tobacco looks like. So, and I can't speak for like other people who grow tobacco. Like this is just like my story here in Michigan with the seeds that I got from this community member. So,
Right.
it might look different for somebody who lives in the South, or it might look different for somebody who lives, in the Plains area, or who lives in the coastal areas of the West Coast. So it really looks different for people's different geographical locations and how their traditions and their upbringing and their stories are. This is just like my story from, my family.
That's great. Yeah. And so, yeah, wherever you're from, start getting out there, feeling it, and get used to what it's like in your area, but also do your research and let's see if we can, find a tobacco in your area doesn't have all the other additives in it.
Yeah,
that's great. So again, it's keepitsacred.org where you can go and find out more information. And so if people want to get involved, and there's resources out there, and there's things they can go and download, right?
Yeah, we have success stories. We have different types of posters. We have informational like articles posted on our website that help help people either get programs started in their community. We're like, this is like a resource and this is a study on why we should educate our communities on commercial tobacco use, or these are some of the reasons like why Native Americans are more susceptible to tobacco related diseases because of like marketing to Native American communities. We know like all these different factors that go into commercial tobacco use within tribal communities.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me. We'll definitely put links to all your resources there on the website too. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Honor our past, be influenced by those who came before us, and rise to make a difference. It's easier than ever before to be a modern day warrior. Let's get vaccinated so we can get back to making history. We can do this.
All right. Again, thanks to Hannah Bartle for spending a few minutes with me. This is important. Take some time and see about if there are ways you can incorporate more traditional tobacco into your ceremony, into at your powwow or wherever. Gigi by the Sea says her caterpillars got into hers. Yeah, tobacco is hard to grow. So thank you for that. Saw lots of other comments. Jace asking about AmeriCorps. I'm not sure if they're working with them or not. They from talking with her offline, they are partnered with several different organizations and they do a lot of work with different groups. So they could be. I don't. All right. So back to this 25 Pendleton blanket giveaway. You all watched, and so you get a special bonus code just for watching tonight. This one is awesome, and this is one of the ones we'll be giving away. This one is called, I think this one has a name. This is called Courage to Bloom. Here's the back of it, and here's, you see the flower on it and the beautiful colors. So this is just one of the 25 Pendleton blankets we're going to be giving away. www.PowWows.com/25. And here it is. Here is your special bonus code. It is 7936. 7936. Go out to PowWows.com/25 and enter that in, and you will be entered for a chance to win that Pendleton. And don't forget, go there every day. There's a new button you can click every day to get extra points. Be sure to check our emails, our live shows, the podcast, and all over the website. We are We are putting codes out there, these secret bonus codes all over the place. I think we have posted almost 75 codes so far in different places. So you can even go back and watch other live streams and see if you can find them there. So check it out. That is one way to enter those contests. Again, thank you, Hannah, for being on the show tonight. Thank you to our sponsors, vaccine.org. Be sure to go out, get vaccinated if you are able to. Also, want to say a special thank you to our patrons. Those are the Booster Club at PowWows.com. They're the ones making a monetary contribution each month. And here's what we're trying to do, folks. We are trying to grow our Patreon community, and what we want to do is get out there and tell more stories. So right now, during non-COVID times, we are streaming maybe 10 or 15 powwows a year, but we only go to the big ones because we actually work with them. Some of them pay us fees, and they look at us as a good way to market their powwow or their resort, their casino, whatever. And it costs a lot to get out to these powwows. So we are trying to expand our Patreon over at www.powwownation.com and see if we can send some teams, myself and others, out to more powwows. We want to get out to your small community powwow or some of the bigger powwows in Oklahoma or all over Indian country that we're not able to get to, because we know there's great dancers, great singers, vendors, and other stories out there we can tell, and we want to get out there and film them and live stream them. So we need your help. If you are able to, head over to PowWows.com and join our Patreon. I would greatly appreciate that. Let's see. Also, don't forget we have a scholarship fund, www.PowWows.com/scholarship, and we are selling t-shirts to help fund that $5,000 annual scholarship. And thank you all for watching. We do stream live every Thursday night, 9 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So check us out on one of those platforms. And don't forget, if you're not able to join one week, or if you just want to listen to these interviews in the car, on the go, and not live, we do put them out in podcasts. So you can go over to the Powwow Life podcast and check that out. Hello, Martha from Alberta. Thank you for being here. Jace, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh yes. Good point. I'm sorry, I should have said something about that earlier. Thank you, Gigi, by the sea. Yeah, let's make sure you keep Louisiana tribes. There's a lot of those folks down there that are really hurting. So take some of your traditional tobacco, make some offerings for them, keep them in your prayers. They need all the help they can. Jace, thank you for the shirt. You can check those out. We do have them for sale over at www.powwows.com/shop. And if you're subscribed to our newsletter, there is a coupon code going out this weekend for 15% off. Pure Hearts Club says prayers up. Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. Make sure I covered all the announcements. Yes, I think that is all that's going on. And be sure, everybody, there's lots of powwows that are still posting their information. Tons of powwows happening this fall. Some of them are canceling or going virtual, so please check our calendar as often. Check it before you travel. And if you're looking for an event, go head over to www.powwows.com/calendar. And we have a full-time employee that is one of her big responsibilities. She's our only full-time employee at PowWows.com, but one of her big responsibilities is she works on that calendar every single day in making sure all the information, new stuff coming in, edits and things being made to it. So the powwow calendar is as updated as we possibly can have. And so if you are out there and you know about powwows, send us the flyers. We'd love to get more of them listed on the calendar. Jim, thank you. Hey, I appreciate that. Really appreciate the support, Jim. Thanks, man. You are welcome, Jace. Thank you. All right, everybody. So thank you again for watching. Hope to see you next week. I have a really cool guest lined up. If we can get the interview recorded. I don't want to spill too much, but big star on the show, hopefully next week. So stay tuned. Super excited about that. Been talking to him on Instagram today. So that will be super exciting. Excited to hear when he responded, and we might be setting up a time to do that interview. Anyways, fanboying out over him. So, hey, thanks anyways, guys. I'm Paul Gatter with PowWows.com, and this is our show to connect with you out there at Powwow Nation. So thank you all for being here and all your support. Really appreciate you, each and every one of you, and all you do. Thanks, Pure Hearts Club. Appreciate that. All right, everybody, have a good night and a good... Darlene says, who? You want a hint? Let's see. I'm trying to find a way to give you a hint. How about just here you go. Here's your hint. Instagram, sorry. There's your hint. Who might be our guest next week. If you know who that is, I hope you'll be excited too. Loved his Standing Rock song, and he's been doing. Nope, Adam's not his first name. He has it's a one-word name. There you go. All right, so everybody have a good night and a great weekend. Stay safe out there, and I will see you all again next week. Nope, not Superman. He's friends with Fergie. How about that? That's another good hint. You have to go look that up. All right, everybody, have a good night. See you soon.